Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here.
On the Feeling Station.
Welcome to The Feeling Station, a podcast that touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give lessons that they learned from their experiences. We hope that you find the stories entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful, given the lesson behind it all. Now, for this episode, I have a fine, distinguished gentleman who I've known for a couple of years now. And in the spirit of the podcast, I'd like to keep things anonymous because you might have a very distinct voice and people could recognize you and say, oh, I know this is Andrew, this is William. So in front of me now, I've got a couple of names. These are African names. They're going to be continental as the show progresses.
Okay.
So we're doing African names now. Next episode is probably going to have Oriental names. I'm secretly hoping I can pronounce those.
Yeah.
If you know any Oriental friends, please ask them to holler at me.
Slip you a few
Help me
names.
with some intonation and stuff. But I've just picked up a name, Juma, which is Juma.
Juma.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That happens to be a Swahili name from East Africa. And it means born on Friday.
Okay.
Do you know what day you were born on?
No, I know I was born at 20 minutes past 12.
And that's about it.
That's it. I was born on a Sunday.
So 12, are we talking midnight or we're talking
Midnight
noon?
Sunday.
Oh, so born on a Sunday.
Yes.
2 days after what your name is going to be.
Yes.
Right? So for this show, I'm going to call you Juma, and I'm praying to God I can remember this. I have the memory of
Juma. It's a nice
memory
name,
of
you
what?
know.
Memory of a goldfish?
Yeah.
So every time I refer to you as Juma, you got to respond to it. It's not your natural name, but you're going to have to. And in front of you, you have names to pick out as well. Same concept. Those are African names. And now I'm asking you to pick these because we don't want the name of the lady that you're involved with to become known or public. Now, I made the assumption that you were in a heterosexual relationship.
I confirm that I am attracted to women.
Okay, cool. So I've made no mistake there.
Yeah, no mistake.
Now, would you like
have
to
any girls that you know? Sorry. Let's continue.
Would you like to pick a name and
Let's
then
go for a name.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the female that we will be discussing today, her name is, her name is Jamelia.
Jamelia?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
Or Jamila.
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 Okay,
Yes.
Jamila.
It means elegant, beautiful.
Ooh, nice.
Another Swahili name from East Africa.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, how accurately does that describe the person that you were with?
Yeah, probably when I did introduce her to people close to me, they did have. I've got a funny story to say about that, actually, to be fair.
Okay.
So, like, I introduced her, I brought her to, like, my home friends,
Yeah,
and we thought let her drive the BMW that they drive. So my friend was recording it. They're twins. So she was in the car with one of my friends is a twin, and the other guy was recording it.
Yeah.
So he was with another friend of ours. So while they were recording, they were talking about her, and they were like, I like, yo, like, she's kind of nice, isn't it? Like, obviously, I'm in the car with them driving. I couldn't drive at the time.
Yeah.
So, oh, she's really nice, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Like, how did Juma get her? And I'm just like, what? And then I'm like, okay, cool. So then I said, send me the video just so I could see how Jamila was driving. And then I'm hearing the start of it. And I'm like, they're just talking about her and the way she looks. And I'm like, and I was like, yo, like, bro,
oh my God,
have you listened to what you sent me? I said, look, listen to it and then let me know in it what you think about it. And then, yes.
And that's a classic rookie era, isn't it, with guys? You know,
but, you know, it's good to know that, like,
yeah,
the guys appreciate the way she looks.
So, just so that I keep track of this, so you've picked the name Jamila, and that's the name of the girl that you're with, and I've picked up the name Juma for me to refer to you.
Yeah, she used to call me Jay.
Right, do you know what? You've just saved my life. I'll just call you Jay.
Perfect.
Right, and then I don't know what you're going to call her, if you're going to continue calling her Jamila or whatever.
Yeah, I'll call her Jamila.
All right. So, as you know, the Feeling Station, the podcast really touches on breakup stories that people have had. And I want to hear your breakup story. But I just don't want to dive straight into it. Otherwise, that's just going to be way too quick and way too deep. Yeah. For lack of a better expression, right? I need a little bit of that.
Of course.
So, first things first, what is the lesson that you want people to learn from your breakup experience? Because that's the most important thing to pick up right from the onset. What is it that you learned from your experience?
It's probably two lessons. One, time is the best healer. Like, it's probably going to be tough, especially being like maybe your first breakup, but time is the best healer. You just got to wait it out.
Yeah.
I can't give a definitive on how long. Yeah. But yes, just take time. And then number two, communication. It's vital. It's very, very important.
That sounds like a theme that I hear all the time.
It's very important. And we don't really you hear it, you see it on TV, you watch it, and you just think, but once you're in the actual situation, when you reflect, you start realizing there's loads of things that you didn't really talk about. The reason why you're in these situations is because you just don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
You're not ready to have these tough conversations.
Yeah.
Like, a relationship isn't supposed to be 100% like, oh, it's perfect, we don't argue. At the same time, it's not supposed to be no rom-com where I've got to climb Mount Everest and I've got to jump through hoops and hurdles just to find the love of my life.
Yeah.
If it's struggle and it's difficult, leave.
Yeah.
Don't be miserable. But it has to be ups and downs. You're going to have tough conversations and you can't say, oh, let's worry about it later. Let's worry about it later.
Yeah.
Like, eventually you're going to get to a blocking road and it might not end well if you're both not strong enough.
So the two key lessons we're looking at here: one, time is a healer,
Yep.
and secondly, always communicate.
Always, very important.
Now, tell me, how did you and Jamila meet? Where did you guys
We
cross
met
paths?
at university, which
Yeah.
is normally most stories you hear, especially in the UK. Like, we met at university, so I probably knew her from when I was 18. We did the same course, but didn't really get to properly know her until the end of third year. Obviously, have to enjoy uni. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, read my books, read my Bible.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so it was probably around the end of third year is when we properly got to know each other, and started realizing like, we like each other. Like, we're probably different, like different cultures, different countries and stuff like that. But I find you funny, you find me funny. So let's go for it.
So there was already cultural differences
Yes,
at play.
definitely.
So is that something perhaps that kept you away from the onset?
Because I went to like a Catholic school, so like most of the people that I went to school with, they were Irish. So like, and obviously I like church. I went to loads of Nigerian people and stuff like that. But like, I didn't really bump into Asian people until I went to university. Like, so I just assumed they're all Muslim or whatever, and they don't drink, they don't eat meat, whatever. Didn't really know much about them.
So just by that, can I assume that she was Asian? Is
yes,
that right?
she was
Okay.
Asian. Yes, half.
Cool. Half
Asian. Yeah.
Half Asian
Half
and
white.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't know that because she was quite fair, but I just assumed just from the way her name and just the way,
Okay.
you know, I mean, East African names, just like it's quite tropical. So
So this is third year. You now say, "Oh, do you know what? I think I like this girl." And then, but what happened after that?
like, look, I don't want to gas myself, but like, look, she moved me, like, and I'm just gonna. That's that. Like, let's be honest. Like, I remember we were doing like we had to do like some coursework, and like, my friend had did it, and I was like, okay, when he wakes up, like, I'll let him know, and he would like drop you a message or something like that. She's like, how about you take my number and then he'll message you, and then you message me, and I was like, no, we don't need to do that. Like I said, she's like, no, just take my number. Okay, and that's how I got a number. And we started to get to talking and this and that, la la la. And I will never forget this because like we were really good friends, and like I said, like obviously there's like I'm feeling something in my gut, like I don't know what it is, but something's tickling me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but I don't like, you do know, once we cross this line, like there's no going back. Like I have a feeling that it's gonna be like, it's gonna be heavy, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to get back to where we are now, being really good friends. But you know how it works. And
So something in your gut was telling you,
like, go for this.
go for it, but at the same
you know
time,
that this is not gonna be like other girls that have been in your life that like you can just shake off and just run it off. This is gonna be like, this is something here.
So there was something special about this
Yeah,
woman.
no, definitely, 100%.
At that time, could you put your finger on it?
No, not particularly. No.
And
Like,
now-
I've never been in a relationship. Well, it depends on who you ask. But like, I've never been. I proclaim I'd never been in a relationship. So like, I wasn't really. Like, university was, let me just get my degree in it.
Yeah.
Like, this is $9,000 we're talking about. Let me get my 2-1. Let me get my first.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, coming to the end of third year, I'm ready on a 2-1. I'm like, look, I can do this now. So let's do this.
Okay, so you and Jamila are now having this conversation. You know, once we become an item, there's no coming back to friendship, because you could just feel it in your gut that if something went wrong, there's no way we could get back to being friends. It just wasn't going to work. So how were things when you guys actually got kicking?
As in, I have to be perfectly honest, that being my first relationship.
Yeah.
Even though I probably didn't ask her out until 9 months into us being together. But I think that's another story for another day. Like, in this day and age, when are you actually going out with someone?
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I was very immature. Like, I probably wasn't what she was expecting in terms of like a relationship. I was not serious. I prioritized my friends. Like, I wouldn't really take her out. Like, I'd be late to things. I'd dismiss what she'd say. Like, it was very rocky for the first 9 months. Like, I don't know why she stuck around, really. I wasn't really being serious. And this is why we're at university, why we see each other every day and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know, I was just finding it hard to come to grasp with being in a relationship, like having to worry about someone else. Like I'm a twin and like I worry about him, but like that's my twin. Like if I'm not chatting, it's different. Like it's just a different type of relationship.
But what was it like for her? Was she more?
She was struggling because like a lot of her friends were like, look, you can do better. This guy is not. Let me tell you now, these friends, yeah. Look, I don't want to speak for no one in this room, but that you can always not control, but you can always have trust in your woman. It's her friends that you cannot control, and they will always plant seeds. Always, that's all they do. They will plant seeds, and like it's for her to combat it. I rate her because there was no one in my corner at the start. Like all of them were, and it was weird. They'd shake my hand like, "See, hi Jay, how's it going?" Boom, boom, boom. But like you're whispering sweet nothings. They're saying, "Leave him, leave him, leave him."
Yeah.
So like she found it difficult because like she was a year older than me as well.
She was an older woman, was she?
Something like that. But like she's older than me, and like she's a very clever girl, and like she's looking for like a man, and I'm not a man. Like, I'm a kid that's messing about, and like, but thankfully she got through it. It was tough for her, like, and a lot of things were going on with her like back home and stuff like that, and just like I respect her for sticking at it because like there was no reason for her to do it.
It sounds to me like you possibly got to a point where you were not the same Jay.
No,
something.
I was a different J. I was a lowercase J.
Oh, okay.
And now like, I don't want to. I'll say I'm probably a capital J now.
Yes.
But yeah, I was a lowercase J. Like,
so the lowercase J is the notorious troublesome guy who's not really looking after his woman. Did a penny drop at some point where you felt, okay, look, I need to start paying more attention to this woman because she's genuinely trying and she's sticking up for me?
I think it's when I introduced her, she saw my twin. Like he went to the same uni as me. We'll call him K. And like just the way that she operated around him, it was just very warm. It was very like she wasn't phased. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Like this is comfort. Like I like comfort. I like stability. I'm not really the most spontaneous type of person. And like I was like, yeah.
So this was the beginning of her meeting your family, potentially.
And like the transition from me being smaller case J to like, yeah, I need to be a capital J to take care of this one. So yeah.
Now, just basing off some interactions I've had with people of various cultures, right? London is very cosmopolitan.
Very much so.
There's a lot of cultural diversity. But one of the issues that remains, well, at least quite obvious in my opinion, is the connection between the Asians and black people.
Yes, definitely.
You have somewhat, it feels like there's no middle ground. You know, either they are for it or they're not for it. Yeah. So how big was this an issue for you, if it was an issue at all in your relationship? At the very
start, it wasn't an issue at all. Like, we'd always even make jokes like, oh, if I brought home someone from this culture, this and that, my mum and dad would do X, Y, and Z, and she'd say the same. But we weren't really deep in like what that actually meant because we're from two separate cultures. She's got an East African name, but she's Asian. Just her parents felt a bit frizzy when they chose the name. But like, it's like it wasn't apparent to us until once we left uni, and then obviously uni is like a bubble. But then once you leave uni, we both graduated, thank God.
At the same time.
Same time, yeah. And like now it's long distance now, and it's just like. It's different. Let's say I'm going out with a Nigerian girl. Of course I can go home to auntie. I would spit the lingo and like she's gonna have no issues with me, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is different. Like, can Jay go home and to see her family? Is that even, am I allowed? Do they know about me? And as the years go by and the months, you start realizing that there's things missing in your relationship.
So hang on a sec. So Jamila met your brother.
Yes.
Right.
At uni.
At uni. Oh, okay.
At university.
Right. So
we went to the same university.
So it wasn't outside uni. Okay. Okay.
So once I've moved back to where I'm from, London, she's moved back to where she's from, not London. We'll just leave it as that. And now it's getting a bit more difficult because I'm wanting to see you, but what are you telling your parents in terms of where are you going? I had a bit of issues as well, but I knew my mum would come round. Yeah. My dad, I don't even know. I was just kind of wasn't really thinking too much about him. Yeah. Because I was like, you know, as long as my mum is happy with me, that's it. I don't really. Them man are a bit different. You know what I mean? Like they just focus on money and just like it's different. They don't really show that soft love. They're just hard headed. So I was like, look, let me not really worry about convincing him about anything. But I knew my mum's always said like, as long as you're happy, like go for it. But my mum's always had a caveat. She's like, do not put yourself through, do not suffer for love or whatever, there come a point where you're like, this isn't it. This is not what it has to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on her side, like I started realizing, I was like, look, your parents don't even know about me. So like, what are we really doing? But I get it. Like, I got it.
If I can just take you back a little bit, how did you pick up that her parents knew nothing about you?
Because like, I'd say stuff like, so like, let me meet your parents. And she's like, they don't know about you. And I'm like, I was like, your mum's white though, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, introduce me to her maybe, or just like, at least talk to her about me. And she's like, you just don't understand. And I kind of get I always understood where she's coming from because I have an older sister. And the way my dad treats her compared to the rest of us is different. My dad has certain expectations of her. And look, I've seen my dad do things to guys that she brought to the house, and I get it. I get it. Like, she doesn't really have much of a choice in terms of, like, she has a choice. Like, it's not like, but like, there's some things that my dad especially will not tolerate.
Yeah. And
it's probably the same for her. She was the eldest as well of her family.
Oh, okay.
And like, her parents are probably expecting her to marry a certain type of man that believes in a certain type of thing. And I don't think I fell under that criteria. So, but that didn't really transpire until maybe 2 years in. So now we're 1 year out of uni. So, and like, it's just like your relationship is like underpinned by like there's constraints. It's like you don't have that full relationship. Like, I've had situations after her where like I might be dating a girl and like the parents are talking to me on the phone, like, and I'm just like, I find it so refreshing because I'm like, they know about me.
Yeah, of course.
And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So,
how did that make you feel? I mean, you come out of uni, you've not interacted with the parents. It doesn't feel that bad. But then a year and a half in,
like, I think it's like when you're home alone and it's like, you know, it's late and like you listen to a bit of music, you're like, shit, like, what's going on here? Like, and I don't know really who to talk to. I can't really talk to my dad. What does he know? And like, a lot of my friends haven't really been in long-term relationships, so I'm just kind of like, I'm telling them what do I do, and they're just like, leave her. And I'm like, yeah, I can't, like, you think it's just easy. Like, I can't just leave her. It doesn't work like that. I'm not gonna, like, you don't understand the pain associated with leaving her.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't really understand that. No, there's many, I know there's a load of other girls out there, but like, I want her.
Yeah, you know, there's not a lot like this.
But they wouldn't really understand because like, they haven't had that type of, you know, care for someone.
Well, I think you're taking that quite lightly. You sounded to me like you were in love.
Look, I don't know what love is. You know what I mean? But like, look, I may or may not have been in love. Like,
yeah.
Like, maybe, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Speculated it between you guys. So,
I think we need to add a third lesson there to say it's okay to say I'm in love. No, look, as a guy.
look, I can't be 25 and not have said I've been in love. Of course, I've been in love. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not heartless, but it's a bit weird coming out of your mouth like I've been in love and that.
So do you reckon it bothered her as much as it bothered you? You know, that you guys couldn't actually meet? I mean, well, I guess you're okay meeting, but the fact that you couldn't meet,
I think she always thought that like it would always work out in the end.
Yeah.
But like, one thing I think, like, not to generalize, I just think men are a lot more realistic in situations. We're much more easier to like face issues and just like go through turmoil. Girls will, it generalizing, not all girls, come on, let's be serious. Like, I ain't been with the whole of London, do you know what I mean? But like, girls in general, they're much more likely to just let it run and let it run. And I'm like, so how long are we going to do this for? Well, you're going to be like 32, I'm going to be 31, like, your best years are behind you. And I still ain't met your parents, we still ain't decided like what religion we're going down. We like, it's not to say it's not possible because we all know people that have been in relationships from different cultures and look, they're happy, they have kids there and all that type of stuff, but I'm not focusing on them. We're worrying about us. Where is this going? I've introduced you to my mum. I'm willing to introduce you to my dad. No issues. Like, I'm sure he won't be screaming at you. But like, I've met all your siblings now, parents. Yeah. And she's like, you don't understand. If I'm to introduce you to my dad, you're in trouble.
So how was it with with her siblings then?
Her siblings, cool.
Yeah.
They loved me. Yeah. Cool. Like, they were so like receptive to me. Like, so open. Like, very, very clever family. Like, obviously raised well. Like, not like stereotyping anything. Like, they were just like cool people. But you know, that generation above us, they're transitioning from back home to the Western culture, and it depends on where you are. My mum's probably more in the middle in terms of back home culture and here, whereas my dad he's back home. He don't really. So it's a weird one. It's a fine line.
I can't help but notice something that I need to bring to light here. So her dad is Asian, married to a white woman, so he doesn't feel like he has a problem with that combination.
Yes.
But it's starting to feel a little more to me like he has a problem with the Asian black combination.
Yes, and that probably might have been a situation. Like, maybe I'm probably thinking that you probably would have had more of an issue of my skin color than my religion,
Okay.
which might have been the underlying issue.
So when did the real cracks start coming in your relationship?
Probably like
to get to the point where you're starting to feel like I don't know if this is
before it ended, and like we're arguing a lot more, and like we're not seeing each other as much as we want to. Like, we want to go on holiday. How do you go on holiday with a boyfriend that they don't know about? Like, it's just like constraints, and like you want a free flowing relationship. I want to be able to go to yours and like pick you up from your house. I don't want to have to drop you off 10 minutes down your road, and like it's like I'm hidden for half of your life. Half the people in your life do not know about me. We've been together for a couple of years now. That it's not really what I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean? But I don't ever blame her, because I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not, she didn't ask for this. Like, it's not, I'm the one who went for her. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, it's easier said than done to say, tell your parents, they'll be fine with it. It doesn't work like that. Some of them will disown you. Some of them will tell you like... So.
I've actually got a friend who's been disowned.
Yeah.
You know, but one of these, but wasn't entirely dissimilar to yours. She's Asian. She's from India, and the guy is from Botswana.
Okay.
They really got on like a house on fire. She introduced him to the family. The moment the mum saw that he was black, one, she didn't come out of her bedroom to meet him, and then two, she went a step further and said, "Please don't ever ask this man to come and step foot in this house ever again. And if you decide to see him from this day forward, pack your stuff and go."
Wow.
So she thought her mum was playing around with this. Ended up to be very real. She didn't see her mum for 12 years.
See?
But they're married now.
The thing is, I think they'll always come around.
Yeah.
But it's just 12 years.
So in your case, did you feel like the dad would eventually come round if he was given the chance to?
Wasn't too sure.
No?
Be honest. Wasn't too sure. I wasn't as confident as like other people. I just had a feeling like this guy would hate me.
So tell me about these last 6 months that then eventually led to your breakup.
Rocky, like weren't speaking to each other, arguing a lot, like getting blamed for a lot of things. Like, you did this, you did this, you did that. Then we went on holiday, which was lovely.
How did you pull that off?
I don't even know how she did it. Like, just probably like asking, like, oh, I'm going to see friends, and then I'm going to go back to university, and just a combination of things. And it was a great holiday, like honestly perfect. Like, I'd recommend go on holiday with your girlfriend or boyfriend when you're ready, in the right situation. Do not go after 2 months if you don't know anything about each other. Not to put any timeline on anything. Like, I could meet a girl tomorrow and marry her next year if it just all works out. But don't know who you're going on holiday with. Please do not waste your money. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Put that on United to win next week instead, or something like that, if you want to put your money down the drain. But like, it just started getting a lot more. Like, we never used to argue, but we're arguing so much more, and it was just frustrating. It was just like, what are we doing? And then I remember,
these arguments over petty stuff.
Petty stuff. It was nothing, but it's just like, I always feel, and I don't know this, but I always feel that, like, again, women that have that strength, the women I've met anyway, and I felt like she'd hit breaking point, and like she didn't have the strength to leave me, so she was like, the underlying tone is like doing stuff to make me leave her. That's how I felt. Reflecting on things, that's how I felt. But I can't say that. How dare I? You know what I mean? That's me undermining like how she felt about me and stuff like that. But it's just like, when I'm not to go into specifics of when I break down things that were happening, I was like, wait, hold on. She was pushing me away. But who knows? Maybe I'm just building a narrative to make me sleep better. And I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe I was just a prick. So
you've gone on holiday.
Yeah, we went on holiday.
Holiday's fantastic.
Fantastic. Come back, but it's just more of the same. Like, I want to see you, but you need to go home at a certain time. Like, it was just too much. It's like, this is just long. I'm seeing my other friends, like, they're staying over. Like, I'm not doing any of that. It's just like, come on, we've been going out for a couple of years now. Like, what is going on? Like, we're not going anywhere. And then I remember we went to Birmingham over like one weekend, and I just remember, and I was like, look, Jamelia, like, look, I can't do this anymore. Like, what are we doing? Like, I need to see your parents. Like, don't make me beg. And she's like, I know I'm trying, but like, I'm gonna try to go to my mum first. She's more reasonable, and it's just.
Was she really trying, or she was just looking for an excuse not to be with you? I mean, when you look back.
When I look back,
I
don't know. It worries me. I always talk to my twin. He's like, look, she was just pushing you away. I'm like, you just like you just hating. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know because I don't want to paint her off in a bad way.
Yeah.
I've never met a girl like that before.
Yeah,
Like, who knows if I'll ever meet a girl like that again? Like,
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
special.
yeah.
Let me be honest. Like, but like, it just felt like she was pushing me away. And like, I'm very cool and calm. And like, when she started shouting at me and started treating me like disrespecting me, like I just switch off. And like, it was getting to the point where like she was shouting at me and like she was intentionally trying to hurt me, and I don't know why. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, we're done here. Like, this is enough now. Like, this is just toxic now. So let's end it.
You're Christian?
Yes.
And she was
Muslim.
Do you think that had a part to play?
Yeah, part to play. Because I always said, look, if we have kids, let's just like, you do your thing on a Sunday. Friday, I'll do my thing on a Sunday. When they grow up, they'll decide what they want to do. No issues there.
So you're okay with it?
Yeah, I said I'm circumcised halfway there, innit, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't make it not a big deal, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that was a bit of an issue.
Now, did she ever communicate that? Because one of the lessons that she said we're going to get out of this is the fact that you need to communicate.
We didn't communicate as well as we should have. We weren't asking the tough questions.
And this is about the stuff that you guys were going through.
Yes, we would always joke around and just say like it would all fall into place, but for it to fall into place, you have to talk about it.
So what sort of tough questions were we talking about here?
Like, when we have kids, what religion are they going to be?
Yeah.
Where are we going to live? Like, if we would get married, how would the wedding play out? Like, what names are we going? Like, what are we doing? Like, these cultures, what culture is going to be the dominant culture? Or are we going to split it down? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, how is this going to work? You're very cultured, I'm very cultured, so how are we going to do this? And like, we just weren't having these questions.
It sounded to me like you knew that if you dabbled into that area, you would get into a heated debate because you guys were already arguing about the smallest of things.
We're both scared that these are the conversations that end your relationship, basically. And we really, really cared about each other. We didn't want it to end. But you can't just keep doing this and living in a fantasy world. We could be going out today and still not have had these questions. What are we doing?
So the last few days before the plug was pulled,
we weren't talking. It was just nonsense. Like, it was just horrible. Like, it was just not enjoyable. I was like, what are we doing? Like, we are not happy. Like, we're not seeing each other. I'm seeing my friends this weekend. I'll see you next week. We would see each other like every other week. Like, it was just like this isn't working anymore. And I've still got we still got the underlying issues of like what is going on. We let's say there's 10 stages to a relationship, and we've got to like level 7.
Yeah.
And we've been stuck at level 7 for a year.
Yeah, it just never went.
And it's not going anywhere now.
Yeah.
This is not. We need to get to 10. How are we going to get to 10?
Now, but being in the situation that you were in, that you describe as caring a lot for this woman, also yes. known as being in love with this woman, it's a difficult call to actually say, do you know what, I'm ending this.
Yeah. Because
you have to prepare yourself psychologically.
Those 3-4 days, like it's yesterday.
Right, tell them to me. Because
we're on
now,
the phone,
yeah,
and like we're arguing. Like, she's gone to see some friends. And I know she had a lot of male friends, no issues there. Look,
okay.
I don't mean
you can't keep that out of the equation.
Because like, I have a few female friends. Like, I always put like, trust. Once you trust them, you just gotta hope. And if you do something, just don't make sure I don't find out. Like, I'm on that energy. Like, I trust you, so you have male friends.
Yeah, sounds like you trust her a lot.
Yeah, but like, there's you now intentionally using that to hurt me. Not hurt me, but just to get me going. So I'm like, so what are you doing on the weekend? I'm out with friends. Who are you out with? Don't worry. Who are you talking to?
Okay.
And that's just the underlying, like, I know you've not done nothing, but why just plant that seed? Because of course you're going to have doubt. Like, what is that? So that's why she didn't message me for 3 hours. You can't message your phone when we don't need to go into why, but you know what I mean. Phone's on charge. But I'm like, I always put in my mind is like, this girl will not cheat on me. I know this girl will not cheat on me. There's no way. Like, you know, that type of arrogance, like, but like, look, girl can cheat.
We could call it arrogance, but then again, you cared a lot for this woman, right? And you know they say love is blind, and it blinds you to a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
You know, there could be things that are bubbling under, but you pay them no attention because you are so into this woman. So, is there a possibility that there might have been a guy involved in this whole thing, but because you was caring about her so much, you chose not to see what might have been...
Is the toilet first on the left or what? I don't even know if I want to say this, man. Nah, I'm not saying
Yeah, no, go on.
Like, there was someone that she worked with, and he was Muslim. And like, she'd always bring him up, and I'm just like, why does she always bring this guy up?
The randomly in conversation.
Random conversation. But then she knew that, not that I had an issue with it, but she's like, okay. Like, I remember her saying, she's like, I'm like, slowly, it's more than just friends.
My God.
Like, but she's like, I don't want to feel like this. Oh, and I was just like, I remember this was the day we broke up. And like, I'd already made my mind up. Like 2 days before, the day before that, I was leaving her, like when I met her.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it put anything, but I was like, I remember her saying that to me. I said, look, let me just stand outside for 5 minutes because we're in the car. I just needed to stand outside and just regain my thoughts. But I understood where she's coming from. She's like, I didn't want to talk about him because like, I know how you feel, but I didn't want to not talk about him because then you'd think like, she's hiding stuff from me. So like, she was very transparent with me. So I didn't really have much issues with it. And like, hand on heart, I know she didn't do anything with him.
How do you know that?
I don't know. But like, if I had to put money down, I'm pretty sure she didn't do anything with him.
Okay.
Just her mentality and the way she operated, like she would have just left me. But well, I guess I hope so, innit? But like that hurt. That did hurt. Because she said, I don't want to feel like this, but I don't know. It's just, I get it. And I get it. Let's say I met a Nigerian girl. Like, I met a lot of black girls when I was with her, and like, she would feel away because it was just a natural, like, I would just naturally, like, warm to them because I've grown up around black women. Like, I get along with them. It's easy for me, like.
Yeah.
And like, so I guess it was just maybe that territorial, like, aspect to things. But like, it was like 4 days before, and we were arguing, weren't talking, this and that. And then it was like the night before, and like, she was just talking to me like anyhow, loosely, mouth just
running off,
running her mouth, and like, I just said, you know what, like, and then she dropped the phone on me.
Ooh.
Okay. Then I rang her again like a dickhead, and then she was still running her mouth at me, this and that, blah blah blah, and I was like, wait, hold on, I've been a good boyfriend, like, I'm not like, let me be humble, but I'm a cool guy. Like, I've been there for you, like, through ups and downs, and like, you cannot be talking to me like this. Like, I'm not like a bad guy. I'm not like if you want to blame me for us being together, cool, you can. But it was a 50-50 decision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I was just like, you know what? You can't talk to me like this. Like, I have no reason to take this type of, like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, you know what? Yeah, we're finished. And this is what the thing about girls, over the phone is energy. So then she dropped the phone again. I said, okay, second time I said, cool. And I said, you know what? I think like it's been a rough 6 months now. Obviously the holiday was really good, but I said, you know what? It's probably time to call it a day.
Yeah.
Tough. I remember I asked a lot of people like what to do. Like, am I making an irrational decision? Am I rushing it?
Yeah.
Like, should I just stick it out? We'll get there. Like, it will get there. Like, we'll get to the promised land. But I said that day, I said, nope. I said, you know what? I think I think I have to, you know. I said, if it's meant to be, maybe it will just be a 6 month break and we'll get back together.
Yeah.
Right now, how the way we were to the way, and we were like seeing each other for like maybe like 6-7 months before we even went out.
Yeah.
Like, we have never been like this. This is not what we entered the relationship for. So I just sent her a message and I said, look, I'm gonna be outside the station at like 11 o'clock tomorrow. Be there. And then she rang me and the voice has changed now. But everything okay, Jay?
Oh, wow.
Like, what's going on? Like, this and that. And I said, like, everything's fine. She's like, what do you want to talk to me about tomorrow? I said, look, just have a good night's sleep and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'll let you know when I'm 20 minutes away. And that's that. And then we went. The next day I was there. She was there. Seemed quite nervous. And like, we just sat in her car for a bit and just spoke. And like, yeah, a lot of emotions. That's when she told me about the guy as well, which hurt.
Yeah.
Didn't affect like my decisions or anything like that, because I always thought like, even if let's just like, my mindset is like, let's just end this, and like, who knows, I was hoping deep down 6 months from now we'll be back together and like we'll be able to escalate the relationship. Obviously that didn't happen, but I was just like, you know what, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's like,
how did she take it?
She was heartbroken. That's why I'm not too sure, like, maybe she was trying to push me away, but she didn't understand that, like, me ending it, that type of pain. It's probably her first heartbreak as well. And she was heartbroken. She was shattered. I was in pain as well, and probably just wasn't showing it through the natural crying or whatever, but I was in pain. Like, but she was heartbroken. And I was like, what do I do now? And I was like, I'm not just going to leave her. So I took her out, bought some stuff for her.
What are you taking her out for? It's like you're giving a farewell present.
Yeah,
you're like, it's been nice, love. You know,
farewell presents.
Wow.
But like I thought, nah.
Jay, where's the logic in that? Just make me
I know, but I was young. Like, you can't just leave them like they're just.
I mean, but what are they expecting? You're leaving.
I think it's because I didn't like. I wanted to leave, but I didn't want to leave. Like I just like I didn't want to leave her. Like.
So what were you hoping the gifts would do?
No, just to like cool it, like just to like.
I mean, cool what?
I don't know. Look, those gifts are probably dashed in a bin now. But like I don't know. Like I just didn't want to leave her. I thought like this is the last day I'm ever gonna see her. Like, I just don't want to leave you like this. Like it's just, I don't know. We just went for a meal and like just we went shopping and like it was like we were still together. Like I just did not want to leave her.
I guess that's part of the adrenaline rush going through your system to kind of ease the pain that both of you are going for. I mean, I'm no medical doctor, your psychologist or anything, but that just sounds to me like a rush of adrenaline just to ease the pain a little bit.
I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, I didn't know. Am I making the right decision? Like, it's like an exam, like, but this is not an exam. It's just life. Yeah. Am I making the right decision? Am I by throwing the love of my life down the drain? Do you know what I mean? Like, am I just like, what am I doing? So, like, it was tough. Like, she was heartbroken, very much heartbroken. And I just took her out. We did what we needed to do, and then,
So you guys haven't spoken since?
As in. After that day, we obviously spoke for maybe like 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah, on and off.
Wait. Okay,
on and off.
And then after the 4th month,
then we just stopped because we were just arguing and always be like an underlying thing of like, you rushed this decision, you should have waited it out, blah blah blah. I get it, you're in pain, so I'm not even gonna question that. Yeah. Then we just stopped talking, and then we always used to say like, oh, if we ever broke up, I don't think we can be friends. It's just too strong. Like, it's too sweet. You know what I mean?
And this is the same thing that you said right from the onset before you guys got together.
Remember,
then,
look,
if we ever get back into this,
we can't do. I can't then like now. I don't mind, like, of course, but I can't hear you saying you're gonna go see another guy. That's you're mine. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if you're not mine, you're mine. So like, and then eventually, she was stronger than me because I was like, we always said eventually someone's gonna have to block another, and I didn't have it in me. Like every time I'm hovering over it, I can't press it. I can't press it. Like I can't do it. Right, okay. And then eventually she blocks me. So, which hurt.
Did that sort of make you feel like this is more real?
This is real now. This is not, no, we're gonna get back together in 6 months. We're not gonna get back together in 6 months.
So did you regularly check her WhatsApp picture to see whether it was still live?
As in, like, I would be there for, and it would just always be.
It was that grey face.
And I said, nah, she's gone. She's gone.
Did you ever try calling a number with the withheld?
Of course, yeah, and like that.
Straight to voicemail.
Straight voicemail, and like.
Yeah,
it's done.
But how are you now? How are you holding up now?
Me, when you think back after
now.
I ended that, it was tough for a bit. Like it was like, like I just couldn't shake it off. Like what?
Yeah.
Like I would be on dates with other girls, and like I'm just thinking about her. I'm like, this is just not right.
Yeah.
Like what is going on? Like my head is messed up. But then as the months came by, time, like you just heal. Like you heal. And
this is exactly what you said at the beginning. That time is a healer. Yeah, it really fixes things.
First month, that pain, compared to where I am now, I would have never thought I would have been here. I was thinking, what? I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. Like, what is going on? You've thrown it down the drain, blah, blah. Oh, that pain.
So, this experience, I'm guessing, has now made you grow. And you now think you now think wider before you actually
100%.
get with someone. 100%. You know that there's some cultural issues that are going to come into play somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Just in terms of the type of girls I'm going for.
Yeah.
Like just like the mentality, like communicating with them, like it's a lot more focused. It's not as like, obviously grew up in London, like I'm attracted to women, do you know what I mean? Like, I could go, but now it's a lot more focused of the type of girls I'm going for. Like I'm looking for stability, I'm looking for a certain type of woman.
Yeah.
And like I'm dating to find out what I like and what I don't like. And like, if it's not meant to be, it won't be meant to be, and I'll just say it straight. Like, look.
And if she's not about to make you meet her parents, you're out.
Nope. I'm not hearing none of that. I'm not hearing. They better be like across the world for you. Like, nah. I need to be meeting parents. I need like there's things I want. Like the same way she's gonna want things she wants, I want things. Like these are things that I just need. And like tick tick tick, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned a lot. I matured a lot with her. a lot. I wouldn't be the person I am today without her, I'll be honest.
I think that's quite evident in the way that you've been carrying yourself through this whole podcast. There's definitely some growth. You know, that small letter J to capital J is quite evident.
It's evident. It's only about her.
You genuinely understand the benefit around healing and what time does to people. 100%. And you're also really, really more open to what cultural impacts can have on a relationship, and just being, you know, upfront, communicating.
That's it.
If something is a problem,
I'm not saying,
thrash it out as much as you
can't marry
can.
someone out your culture, but you need to have that. You need to both be on the same page. Like, look, X, Y, and Z. Our parents will come round. Look, I'm going to introduce them in the right environment. X, Y, and Z. Not just going with the flow. And like I said, I won't put blame on her. Like, I'm a man. I should have been handling it myself, and I wasn't. I was young. I had no experience. I was just going with it, and you know what I mean? We didn't hurt each other. Like, we cared about each other a lot. Or that other word we've been using today.
You in love with each other.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, she was a very, 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 very cool girl.
Yeah.
Like, I wish her nothing but happiness.
Oh, that's really good.
Like, I want her to be happy. Like, she did a lot for me. Like, she really, really, really changed me.
I almost feel like just calling you capital J from now.
Hey,
yeah,
you know
because you probably had some real growth there.
Yeah, no, I grew a lot with her. Fair play.
Well, for those who've been listening to this podcast, you've heard from the man capital J.
That's it.
His really interesting story about how he's seen the importance of communicating and how time can heal. If you have a situation that is doing the exact same thing to you, where you're not sure and you're not communicating with someone, open that conversation, have those difficult conversations, because that could either make or break what you guys have. And if it does break you, as capital J says, time is a healer. This is the Feeling Station podcast. I'm Tinto and I'm signing out, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Satis andaro raini and chagezai.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Satis andaro raini and chagezai.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motor noto kujidziro amai.
Kujidziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motor noto kujidziro amai.